subscribe. Tariq Radio. Like and subscribe.
Let's get Sebastian Zulu in the building.
Hey, good afternoon, Tariq.
How you doing?
So it's crazy. I spoke to you before. Apparently, I think it's just I don't know. You didn't have enough time on your hands, but you thought I was like an immigrant, and then I came up. This was about around election time when I basically asked what you thought about Project 2025. I guess that rubbed you off the wrong way. Neither here nor there. I also saw the flyer. I'm gonna try to make it to your hidden history museum. Excuse me.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm in LA, so I love to chop it up. Let you know that I'm not an immigrant. But listen, with the topic on site, do you have any concern with police immunity once Trump does get elected? That was kind of what I was concerned about previously. I know Kamala didn't do what she needed to do, and the Democrats didn't do what they needed to do as a total. But I feel that with this type of news, I mean, if they give police full immunity, I mean, my goodness, what advice would you have on that? And yeah, man, I'm gonna try to, like I said, make that event on the 13th. Appreciate the mic, brother.
Thank you so much. Yeah, the whole thing about police immunity, not really afraid of it because they already have immunity. They already have it. And what are they going to do that they have not already done? Now, if they start going crazy and just picking off black people left and right, there's going to be a backlash. That's going to cause a backlash. And, that's going to cause a bunch of Micah Johnsons to pop up. Yeah. So it'll be very bad. And then that'll cause way more distrust. So that will backfire on them. That will just simply backfire. Again, we don't just sit around and just let shit happen on a regular basis without doing anything. That's why um, the George Floyd riot. The whole country was on fire. That was the last straw because we had dealt with so much, and we kept saying the streets kept saying, "Hey, man, enough is enough. Y'all doing too much." And they never know when they just take it one step too far. They took it one knee too far, then what? Billions of dollars worth of damage. Not only billions of dollars worth of damage, the globe, there was riots all over the world. They saw us turning up over here. They were turning up in the UK. They start turning up over in Greece. They start firebombing the damn US embassy over there. You don't need that kind of PR. You don't need that kind of image. Yeah, that will backfire. So, we're not really tripping on that. This is why incidents like this makes us further get on code as foundational Black Americans. Roberts, hop on, sir.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hey, fellas. I mean, as far as the topic, to me, it's very sad what's going on. But if I search on Chat GPT as to the root cause of these issues, and I ask, when did Ronald Reagan close the mental treatment facilities? And it said that Ronald Reagan actions regarding to the mental health treatment facilities can be traced back to his time as governor in California. And then later during his presidency, that's when the significant closure started. If we don't get these treatments, if we don't get this help out there to everybody out there, this will continue. People will continue to get hurt. And that's pretty much what I wanted to say.
There you go. But yeah, thank you. It's not a mental illness situation, no. This ain't about mental illness. This is the white supremacy issue, family. I want y'all to be very clear. This is a white supremacist issue. This is white supremacy. Straight up and down, this is white supremacy, ladies and gentlemen. This is not a mental health issue. See, when stuff happens to us, oh, it's a single mother issue. It's a fatherlessness issue. Oh, it's a school issue. They blame it on everything. No, this is white supremacy. This happens, this has been happening over and over again for a long time. Um, especially, and I talked about this on my broadcast the other night, this urban vigilantism, this racialized urban vigilantism that we saw starting in the 70s as a offshoot of lynching because they couldn't lynch black people no more. After the 60s, all of that, y'all gathering around, getting a brother, no, that stopped. We stopped that. We weren't letting that happen no more after the 1960s. That wasn't happening. Those spectacle lynchings, no. So they had to be more covert. So if they wanted to get a black person, they had to get them in an urban area, and you had to sneak up on them. And this is something that they've been wanting to do for a long time, starting in the 70s. This is why those movies like Dirty Harry and Death Wish with Charles Bronson and Taxi Driver and all of these movies about these white male vigilantes going out here attacking black people in urban areas in order to clean up the streets. And then they have to say that the black people were criminals. They were doing all of this stuff. So we're used to it. Going back to the Randolph Evans case in 1976, where a race soldier blew the brains out of a 15-year-old black kid for nothing, and then he got off because they made up a rare form of epilepsy and said that the cop had a rare form of epilepsy that makes you do things that you normally wouldn't do. Then they let him off on insanity. Bernard Getz in the 80s. There's so many cases where they go and ambush a black person somewhere in an urban area, and then the white supremacists would gather around these people to try to get them off. And then it got reinvigorated because in the early 2000s we didn't see all that stuff because the riots, we had those riots in out here in LA. So they thought twice about doing stuff like that. There was a major consciousness going on in the 90s. They weren't really pulling that in the 90s like that, in the mid late 90s. So it got reinvigorated with Trayvon Martin. That's when that thing got reinvigorated. When George Zimmerman was able to get off for killing Trayvon Martin, that kicked in everything again. So now we got to clean it up. It's up to us to clean that up. It's up to us to say enough is enough and there's going to be justice. All right, let's get let me see, Queen Nene. Let's get Queen Nene and then we'll get Ellis. Queen Nene, then we'll get Ellis. All right. Queen Nene.
Hi, Mr. Tariq. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. How are you, beloved?
I'm good in yourself. Was gonna say, when I first heard about that young man getting killed, like it broke my heart.
Yeah.
And I had a feeling if, if the guy was white, of course he was not gonna go to jail, because like you said, we're basically used to it, which is sad because this is not a thing we should basically be used to.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Um, but also, I had a question. I didn't follow the case because I didn't know. Basically, I thought it was like bent over. I thought it had been over or whatever. I didn't know the trial was still going. But who was following the trial? Because I want to know, was it an all white jury?
Right. I don't.
Because my thing is like, how do you, first of all, if somebody's talking to themselves, how are they a danger to anybody else?
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to not, I don't understand that part. So how can a jury find somebody just walking up to somebody who's talking to this? It's like me talking to myself, and there's somebody coming up to me choking me just because I'm talking to myself. That don't even make no sense to me.
Right. My thing, that's a very good point, beloved. Who was on that jury? Do y'all know the makeup of the jury? What's the makeup of that jury? Does anybody know that? Let me see if I can look that up real quickly.
I've been trying to find
If
it out,
anybody knows the
Tyreek.
makeup of that jury, hold on. Let me see if I can look that up. Hold on. Hold on one second. Let me see. Let me see what it says. Hold on. I'm gonna try Chat GPT and see what they know. Hold on 1 second. Somebody said my brother Macau said it was mostly white women. Oh, okay. Hold on 1 second. Let me look it up. Let me see what Chat GPT says. Let me see. Consisted of 7 women and 5 men. It said they have not been publicly disclosed. Okay, okay. It's being Chat GPT is a damn white supremacist his damn self. Chat GPT be on white supremacist code. Chat GPT be racist as hell sometimes, man. I swear. Chat GPT is supposed to be AI. It's supposed to be neutral. That motherfucker be sounding like David Duke some damn time. Man, Chat GPT. Um, I asked Chat GPT about some inventions one time. I was, just to see what it would say. I was like, Chat GPT, who wrote the first book on electric lighting? And they named some French dude. I said, Chat GPT, that's wrong. That's not correct. That person didn't write a book on electric lighting. It was a black guy, Lewis Latimer. And Chat GPT was like, you nigga. Chat GPT cussed me out. Chat GPT is a hater. I said, you're supposed to be AI. What kind of stuff is that, Chat GPT? You're AI. You're supposed to be, you're not supposed to have emotions. Come on, Chat GPT. Oh, racist ass. It's not. Chat GPT ain't giving me nothing. They're like being, oh, we don't know the color. They never say. Okay, I want to know if y'all know the makeup of that jury. Y'all let me know. Because I'm thinking it was a bunch of white people in tethers. Because they'll let some people of color, and I don't fall for that people of color stuff. That people of color stuff don't mean a damn thing. That don't mean nothing. That don't mean a damn thing. Remember in the Trayvon Martin case, they had people of color on there. They had some tethers on there. Don't ever forget the Trayvon Martin case. They had some Afro Latino. They had tethers on the jury, and the white supremacists know this. They know if they get tethers, um, they can use them as cover, and they know that they'll be on code with them. You understand? So they try to hide their racism, like, oh no, 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 it's not race. There's some black people over here co-signing me. There's some quote black jurors. You're not telling me that these people are tethers though, and they think like you, and they have contempt for us. You see, that's why we've been on the tethers next. We don't let tethers represent us. Let's get Ellis in here. Ellis, what's up, man?
Hey, what's up with Tariq, man? Shout out to the room. So, and yeah, you definitely got to check.
Ellis, what's up, brother?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Ellis, I can't hear you, brother. All right,
Can you hear me now?
Ellis.
Yeah. What's up with it?
Okay, I have you come back up.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm not hearing you. So I have you come back up. Okay. Let me see who we got. We got a lot of people in here, a lot of people in here, a lot of people in here. Let's get Mark Fisher from Black Lives Matter, North Carolina. Let's get him in here. Mark Fisher from Black Lives Matter, is it North Carolina or Rhode Island? Okay.
Hey, what's up, brother?
What's up, Mark? Are you in North Carolina or Rhode Island?
Rhode Island. Well, I'm from Rhode Island, but I'm in a DMV now.
Okay, there you go. So, man, what's going on? What do you think about this case? What's the word?
So, I just gotta say, here we see another white man getting away with killing another unarmed black man, and this is the American way. This is nothing new. And the lady who came on before just previously was talking about this is we get so much hate, but the hate is nothing new either. This
Right.
is this is par for the course. Uh, I grew up with it. I'm sure you have. We all have.
Mm-hmm.
So this is nothing new. We're kind of like immune to it, so it doesn't affect us. So, you know,
Right.
you're right. Where economically is where we're going to make the difference, and I feel like you're right that it galvanized us as a community, and it's going to have an amazing galvanizing effect. that's going to backfire beyond what they even thought was possible. So, I'm going to land there. White supremacy, they can't get out their own way. So here we go again.
Yes, sir, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, man, this is gonna galvanize us, man. Yeah, this ain't gonna work out like they think. And again, they're not getting the psychic benefit of us being all distraught and upset and crying. And no, we're used to it. We're like, unfortunately, we understand that the white supremacists are desperate and we're in a war. We understand. And this is a reminder of how real this thing is. White supremacy is very real. This validates a lot of what we've been saying out here. And again, going back to what I said earlier, I think this happened with the Democrats. Don't let them get that away from you. This was the Democrats. This happened under them. They sat up here and kind of funneled this acquittal. They facilitated it. You dig? The way they presented this, yeah. So this was a Democrat-run city. So all of this stuff about the right wingers about to bring Project 25, beware. No, we under Project 2025 now under the damn Democrats. It is what it is. So yeah, they're not going to scare us with those political scare tactics. It's two wings on the same bird. So we're focusing on what we need to do. We're getting codified around our lineage and our empowerment. Ellis, are you ready, brother?
Yeah, I'm right here, Tyree. You hear me?
I can hear you. What's going on, El?
Hey, what's up with it? So you definitely gotta check Chat GBT, that's for sure. But like touching on what the sister said, and shout out to G Money, we had a space, we was talking about it earlier, the jury selection. I was trying to look up and see what the racial makeup of it was, and I was unsuccessful. Seems like they trying to hide it. But my
Yeah,
question to you is, when it comes to black people participating on jury, a lot of us don't have the time, and what do you think we need to do to try to get more FBAs to be representative in these jury pools?
and that's a good question. You see, the thing is, we don't mind serving jury. We don't mind. We will. The thing is, in cases like this, they strike us off because they don't want no black people on there like that. So they go out of their way to remove us from these jury pools. That's the thing. They deliberately remove us, especially foundational black Americans. They know who to put on these juries. They know what tethers are. They know how to get non-FBA people on these juries because they know that they're not going to be on code with us, so that they can use those tethers as a smokescreen to say, hey, look, it wasn't all white. We had an African, we had a Jamaican, so we had black people on there, so it wasn't racist. Knowing that those non-FBAs are most likely going to be thinking like the damn white supremacists, or we got some Latinos, knowing that they ain't gonna be on code with us, but they got people of color, so it ain't racist, it's people of color. See, we gotta cut that out, man. But yeah, we will serve. Foundational Black Americans will serve jury duty, but they strike us off of it. Yeah. They systematically do that all the time. That's what our brother Judge Olu Stevens in Kentucky. They there was a case where they struck off all the black jurors and had like it was a case involving a brother and they had like an all-white jury. He said, man, go back and regroup and reform this jury. No, y'all not gonna do that. And then all the white supremacists were mad at Judge Olu Stevens because he made them go back and reassign and get a whole new jury because they struck the black folks off. So, we need folks like that to stand up and say, hey, man, we're going to have some real justice in here. We're not going to have all this little janky white supremacist nonsense popping off in here like that. And we have to support people who stand up for us. That's another thing. That's why I've always been a big advocate for Judge Olu Stevens because he's majorly on code out there. And the white supremacists can't stand him. We need more people like that. We need more lawyers. That's why I'm very supportive of black lawyers. And that's our thing, family. This is what I'm saying when we talk about the economic thing. This is why a few things we're going to do. This is what I'm going to give y'all some of my New Year resolutions. One thing is we're going to start knocking these documentaries out and just really get that popping. Hidden Color 6 is coming. That's going to be popping. But what we need to do, 2025, what we need to do, we need to really get think tanks. I want to get some of these folks who chop up some real game in here and just really screen people and have um think tanks where everybody and their mama ain't in there putting in their input. We need people who are thorough with scholarship, thorough with activism, people who have a real proven track record. And we all need to be in certain spaces, in person, online, and others, really fleshing out ideas and policies that we can implement within the community to empower. We need that. And a lot of people have been asking about that, especially a lot of our young folks, because see, a lot of our young kids, we got some very bright young people in here. That's why I have a lot of you guys call up. We got some bright young cats in here. Um, like the other day, the brother Kanye. I see brother Kanye down there. Well, Kanye was debating that Halo dude, and Kanye was smoking this nigga. Kanye was running circles. See, we need brothers like that. And we need to get them away from the riffraffs and get them around other people who are like-minded, where they can utilize the knowledge and intellect that they have so that we can benefit the community. I love to see young brothers like that. Those are our future lawyers. Those are our future politicians. You understand? Because a lot of our young cats want to really, really chop up some real constructive game. But what happens is you get around other people your age, niggas being here gossiping. So we don't need that. We don't need sassy gossiping niggas draining your energy. We need to get you somewhere where you're around like-minded people who's going to elevate you. That's what white people do. That's what white people do. When they see some of their brightest, they take them away from the riffraffs and they put them somewhere. Hey, no, we're going to get you over here around other gifted people, and then we're gonna have y'all chopping it up and building. And then they do that with us too. You know what? Black folks, when they see gifted black folks, they get them too and take them away and bring them in white circles. You understand? When they see gifted black people, they're gonna take them and pull them aside and say, oh no, let me work with you. Let me indoctrinate you. Let me get you away from these Negroes before you end up being a leader. No, no, no. Let me get you over here. Let me introduce you to some of these white women. Boy, don't you like that? You understand? So they start grooming our best and brightest early. They start throwing them white women at them. Yeah. So, yes, family, we need to start getting these think tanks going. We need to get these think tanks. We got too many bright, brilliant people in here, and we need to um, nurture that and build on that so we can start coming up with policies on our own, coming up with ideas on our own, and then getting people who we're going to put in political positions. You understand? And coming up with strategies. We get some of these cats and say, okay, this is who we're going to get to run for city council in this city. We're going to give them the game, tell them what to say, what to do, what to operate with. And then we'll get out here and start getting a budget for them for their campaign, stuff like that. Get people on the school boards, find out who's the business entrepreneur, um, help them get their businesses intact. Just there's so many things that we can do. Yeah, there's so many things we can do, and we need to get on top of it. We really need to get on top of that. Yeah, because we got too many bright folks out here, and look, and when we get this hidden color six popping, that's going to really start waking a lot of folks up. So, um, yeah, we I need to get some of these cryptocurrency brothers, get them straight so we can start just really, really fleshing those ideas out and find out what the latest trends or what the upcoming trends are on that so we can get involved with that. Just really giving each other game, man, showing cats what careers to get into. Really just start dropping that game, man. Really start dropping it. So yeah, that's going to be happening. But we got to screen though. We really got to screen people. That's the major thing because we got a lot of folks who act like they're down in grassroots, and we got there's ops hanging around. That's the thing. We got to watch out who the ops are. We got to really, really screen people to make sure we ain't got no ops around us. That's been a problem. Let's get Paris Sorrell in the building. Paris, and then we'll get Anubis. Paris, what's up?
Hey, how are you? Good evening. How's everybody?
Hey, Paris.
How you doing, brother? Thanks for letting me speak. I just want to just say a few things. You know, I live here in New York. I grew up on the subway. Period. Full stop. Don't do it anymore.
Mm,
But I just think it's very important that people realize that mental illness here in New York City was disregarded years ago. I forgot which mayor. There is no help being given to someone like poor Jordan Neely. There was nothing given to him that he should have been receiving the funds. He should have been receiving the help. He should have been receiving the funds as an American,
yeah.
not being given to other people from other countries. And I'm very upset about that. I've grown up seeing this. I see it every day on the street, and it's our American people that are left on the street, left to suffer. And when you call to get them help, they literally stay there for a week in the hospital, and they let them right back on the street. So
Mm,
this poor guy, yeah, it's disgusting. And I just want to say that, and I think that the system failed him first. I got to say that the system failed him first, and that's what I want to say. And thank you for letting me speak.
thank I'd absolutely agree with that. Anubis, what's up, brother? Anubis, what's happening? All right.
My bad, brother Tariq. I'm over here cooking dinner for my kids. I don't know what happened. Someone must have touched something. My bad.
It's cool. What's going on, brother?
Oh, nothing. I gotta go.
Oh,
Thank you so much, though.
cook for them kids, brother. Go ahead and make them kids some macaroni and cheese. All right, JW. We got JW in the building. Mr.
What's
Luke.
going on, brother?
What's up, Mr. Lucas?
Shit,
Lucas
I'm
is
out here getting some cardio in
there
on
you
the
go.
street.
There you, oh, you getting your jog on?
Yeah, every night.
There you go.
Pivotal.
There you go. There you go. By the
But
way, guys, this is a white
go
gentleman.
ahead.
Just to let the audience, Lucas is a white gentleman. So, Lucas, JW, how do you feel about the case, the Jordan Neely case? How do you feel about
Man, from what I've seen, the guy has pictures behind the Nazi flag. You see a rise in anti-Semitism and just Nazism, right? On social media.
it? Yeah.
In my opinion, this is a backlash from racism in general over the last 4 or 5 years. I'm not saying it's acceptable. It's a problem that needs to be eradicated through cooperation. I know you're very interested in a more proficient restructuring of our government's ability to redistribute wealth, right?
Okay. You keep.
When you say that cooperation is essential to increase the profits, the advantages of a society. So when we continue to perpetuate these type of false narratives and separate the citizenry against our enemies, which are these monopolistic corporations, the only way we're going to get alignment with that equity line in terms of the power law distributions of wealth that we're witnessing, where the rich are getting richer, the poor are getting more and more poor, we have to come together and increase our culture. Now, when we look at what happened, this guy did have, earlier you said it wasn't about mental health issues. Clearly it was. You were a little more accepting of the lady that just spoke about it. This guy had 40 arrests, was out a nuisance to society. Now, from a systematic perspective, are you familiar with the concept of an externality?
Hold on, because are you saying because he illness, which half the people on the damn trains of New York got some kind of mental illness, should
I'm
he have
not
been?
justifying what he did, and the guy deserved to go to prison for some extent because he could have restrained him and also let up
Why?
and let off. He made a mistake. It wasn't premeditated murder. It wasn't now because of his history. He could have had racial undertones. The issue is that young man was out causing a nuisance in society, assaulting women, had a history, and somebody did something about it in the moment out of passion and made a terrible mistake. That doesn't mean that we have a corrupt system where there's a lot of individuals like that. That's a bad apple in a country full of 350
No,
diverse individuals, where of course there's going to be complexity and a
no,
certain type of unpredictability in these outcomes.
no. Let me get my sister Brooke back up
Li-
here.
li- listen, brother, are
No,
you familiar from a
hold
game
on,
theoretic perspective the
hold,
importance of having a third party host to incentivize cooperation
hold
and
on.
maintain boundaries?
Let me get my sister on here.
Let's debate it. Keep me up.
She's from New York. Let me get her on
Let's
here.
speak about it.
And let her talk. Don't
I
talk.
love everyone in here and I appreciate the opportunity. We got to
Mr.
come together. We need better sense making, better decision making, autonomy, creative,
My
creative.
man. Stop talking over people, sir. Let people talk. Cut it out. Let people talk. Okay? Let people talk. Lucas. All right, Sister Brooke. What's up, beloved? Turn your microphone on. I had to mute everybody because Lucas won't stop talking. Go ahead, sis.
Oh, he made me lose my train of thought. He was making me so angry. I started boiling from the inside. Um, uh, just give me a minute. I'll call me back. Give me a second. Let me think
Here, I'll
again,
give
because
her something to
he's
think about. From
Okay.
a game theoretic
sure.
perspective, would you agree that we need a third party host that contains violence in both senses of the word? Meaning we have a police state and a government internationally that can maintain cooperation with our policies internally and internationally. Eternal violence to incentivize people to cooperate, just like a mafia organization that has hitmen, where if you get out of line and steal or you commit externalities, external harm to the organization, you get dealt with, which aligns everyone and harmonizes society. Would
Goodness.
you agree that we need a third party host that can
Great,
provide a boundary?
great black shark. Hopkins, sir.
Salute to you, black man. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir. Go ahead, brother.
I'll be very brief. And JW Lucas, do not interrupt while I'm speaking. If he interrupts Tariq, mute him.
Yes, sir.
Let me let me go ahead and say this real quick. Speaking as a foundational black American freedman man, we're talking about what happened with Jordan Neely that day. What he did prior to that has nothing to do with what that coward and disgrace to the military, and I am a retired combat veteran. He is a disgrace, and it had nothing to do with what happened on that train. If somebody is talking and they haven't presented a physical threat towards anyone, none of us have the right to put our hands on anybody. And like you said, Brother Tariq, and I'm saying this to every white supremacist in here because I know you're listening, you better think about the precedent that you're setting, because I'm going to tell you right now, had that happened down here in the South, in Georgia, and some of these southern states, Jordan Neely would still be alive.
Mm-hmm.
He would still be alive, and we would have done something to help that brother situation so he wouldn't have been in such desperate straits. Now, let me talk to my people, foundational Black American freedmen. Brothers and sisters, we have to use what happened here as a reminder that we're all we got for real.
Yep.
Cliche, but it's true. We have to take care of our own. If we have family out here that's in Jordan Neely's situation, it should never get that bad to the point that none of us are doing anything to help them, because that could have been prevented.
Mm.
That could have been prevented. And the last point that I want to make is this. I'm saying this directly to you, JW Lucas. I'm not interested in having a back and forth with you, but a foundational Black American freedman man needs to tell you this personally. You're always interjecting your nose into black people's business, and you've always got some type of counterpoint to things in favor of white supremacy. I'm going to tell you, you're a straight white supremacist. I'm calling you that to your face. And see, you really don't have no say in nothing that black people have going on. It's Brother Tariq Space, no disrespect to you, brother, but a man needs to tell him that. So with that said, I'll end.
My man. Thank you so
I,
much.
I appreciate that. Let me respond.
Go ahead.
It's a major issue. We're dealing with civilizational collapse. We need to unify and produce as a culture, and we need to eradicate the victim's mentality that's prevalent. I'm tired of seeing issues like a disparity in IQ between blacks and other ethnic groups. That could be eradicated within 2 generations of better culture.
Yeah, but
Prioritizing
if it could be
education,
done,
prioritizing
can I ask you a question
education,
now?
prioritizing the nuclear family unit. See, we've had our institutions captured by the left, which uses these issues as a main vessel to perpetuate their agenda. And now we're at the end of what's called the long march through the institutions. Obama's influence has been eroded. So now we can get back to traditional values and start producing so we don't have manufactured demand from the supply side. People's interests are being nudged towards conspicuous consumption by any means. We need to
Okay.
get back to anti-fragility and being
Yeah,
blessed to overcome
real quick.
adversity and
Okay.
loving
No,
to
100%, real
prove
quick. Are you
ourselves
gonna
in
do that?
front of God.
Brother Kanye.
Yeah, gotcha. Real quick. So you said something about a third party situation where violence is involved. The problem with what you're saying is the United States government has a monopoly on violence, not just in the United States, but everywhere around the
as
planet.
they should, to
Whoever they
maintain
choose,
peace.
yeah, that's what they say. And the problem is
We're blessed as
anybody who
Americans
challenge.
because of that.
Listen, what I'm saying. Listen, what I'm saying. Um, Yeah, and because of that, any form of threat to that violence will be met with an overwhelming amount of violence from the place with the monopoly on the violence. So that's why what you're saying would never work. And then B, if they really wanted to eradicate a lot of stuff, they would just simply do it. They don't do it because the dysfunction allows them to keep control. See, when people are focused on things that don't really matter as much, like a lot of your talking points, they're not actually focused on things that do matter because to quote the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, make your own neighborhood a good place to live. And I think that's what we've been talking about the
Brother,
entire
I
time.
just said we
Is
need to
had
unify
hold on,
around
listen, I'm
God,
almost
and you're
finished.
telling
I'm
me
almost finished. I'm
I'm
almost finished.
speaking about
Hundred
meaningless.
percent, 100%. I'm almost finished. I'm almost finished. The point I'm making is this, right? I think what we're saying is we are going to build our own communities where we can protect each other and those of us who don't necessarily have all their faculties. But to use a person struggling with mental illness, drugs, however, to commit a murder under the guise of heroism is just utterly ridiculous, right? I mean, what is the actual? It's an administrative offense at best. You might get a ticket for disturbing the peace, but to get your neck snapped because somebody felt threatened because you were having an episode, that has absolutely nothing to do with what you're talking about. And I do think people like you and yourself will take opportunities like this to point at the black community and say, "Hey, you guys have to do this to be better." But when we have a history of doing a lot better in this country, and the government comes and sabotages it every time they get a
This
chance
is
to.
literally
And
my
then
point.
no,
You're
that's not a
reaffirming
victim
my
mentality.
point.
It's literally looking at history. You can literally look through history and see the times they have directly sabotaged what we were
Of
doing.
course, the welfare system in the
So
60s
okay,
with
so
Lyndon B.
question for you, right?
Johnson.
So hey, a question for you, real quick. Just answer this question for me, right? If
Bro,
there is,
have an
does you
open
believe in cause and
minded,
effect, right,
good faith conversation. Stop
sir? Sir, no,
making
sir. Do
these
you
little
believe in cause and
semantic.
effect, though?
Uh,
This won't
pre-
even long. This won't even be long. Do you believe in cause and effect?
yes, of course. In terms of
Okay,
in terms of a
so if
retrocausal
you believe, so,
analysis,
hold on, sir. Listen,
hindsight.
sir. Listen, calm down. If you believe in cause and effect, right, and if we are doing well, that's the cause. The effect is the government decides to throw a stone whenever we get settled. Have you noticed that pattern throughout history?
Undeniably, there's an egregious oppressive
So
history in
there's no
America.
victim mentality here. There is a cause and effect. See, there's verifiable, observable reality. So I do think it's best that you take these talking points and talk to your people and say, hey, how about we just leave them alone, let them build in peace? You ever thought about that?
You're not thinking objectively. You have a bias that you're
Yeah, because
interested in
maybe she
affirming
shouldn't
and
wear that skirt
confirming your
out.
bias as a
Maybe she shouldn't
grift.
wear that
You don't
skirt.
have
Maybe
pure
she shouldn't wear that
intention.
dress.
No,
Maybe she
you're
shouldn't
not
walk
built
down the
to have a
street.
substantive
Maybe you
conversation.
shouldn't buy that car. Maybe you shouldn't get in that vehicle. Maybe you shouldn't buy that car. Maybe you shouldn't wear that dress. That's your mentality.
If it's objective and the intent is love and it's aligned with absolute truth, do you believe in a hierarchical value structure? Do you believe that we all emanate from a source, a singular source? Do you believe that your God is the same God that created me? Yes or no?
I'm trying to figure out what does
Do
that have to
we
do with what we're
emanate
talking
from
about.
the same source? Do
Lucas, what are you talking about? You're just using a lot of non sequitur.
No, this is the importance of aligning
This is a straw
together
man
and
argument. We talking about what's
cooperating
going on right
and
now.
start to
Listen,
create
I'll say it like this. Let me ask you a question.
legitimate
I ask you a question,
solutions
right?
for these issues.
I got you. I answer your question. That means as much to me as it did to the that choked that man out on the subway. You think he was asking that question when he was choking him out? He didn't give a about the shit. Why are we talking about it? Do you
Well,
think about
listen,
that?
the
You
issue
about to go buy a Starbucks?
is every witness in there supported what he was doing. Every person that was in that
You know
environment,
the
in
funny
that
part
area,
about
And
it is
that's the fucking
supported what he was
issue.
doing.
that's the problem.
Oh
And
It
my
you know what
is
the most
God.
because they
problem is?
should have jumped in at some point and restrained him from going too far. But
Yeah,
yes,
but
the
see that's
dude
the
deserved
problem.
to
Like
get
if he
punched
had
in
been
the
minding his
mouth
own
for what he
business, it
was
wouldn't happen.
doing. We need to start beating people up that get out of line like that in society and putting a boundary on.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Kanye. Let me deal with it. I thank you, Kanye. Thank you, Queen. Let me just heal.
Bring someone up here that wants to talk like an adult,
But yeah,
for real.
you're all over the place. Keep changing subjects and narratives. You're justifying Jordan Neely.
The point is, can we establish objective truth? Absolutely.
Truth is, he was lynched, and lynchings are common in this country. This was a good old fashioned lynching, and you're justifying a lynching, which is the problem. Why does your community justify lynching so much? What's that about within your culture?
Sir, no one would ever justify lynching, and it's disgusting that that kid lost his life.
No,
No
no,
one thinks Daniel Perry.
no, he was lynched by suspected white supremacists and other anti-black racists co-signed it, which is what lynchings are. That's very common in this culture. So do you think that we should be cool with that? Do you think you're going to babble your way and use these non sequitur words to get our focus off this lynching that occurred? That was a lynching, Mr. Lucas. Nothing more, nothing less. You can try to talk in circles. It was just a lynching. And
If Daniel Perry was on his way to work and cooperating with everyone in that environment, would it have occurred? Would that lynching have occurred?
if what?
If Daniel Perry was on his way to work to provide for his family and be an upstanding cooperative citizen, would that have occurred?
Perry, which one? You sound like you're getting the names mixed up. Jordan Neal.
I'm not paying attention to the situation
Hold on. Which
because it's this
slow down because you're saying words.
the killer, Perry.
Okay, Penny, dead.
Whoever the dude's yeah, the killer.
Yeah,
Or not the killer, the dude that got killed. If he wasn't
killer. You're right. You
going crazy,
right.
would it have occurred? It's a sad situation.
Oh, you,
But we need to get beyond the simple minded
no,
thinking and start thinking about actually coming together and making a bigger piece of the.
come together with people who lynches. How is that going to work? When you got the power systematically to lynches. How do we come together with that? Because you have the power to lynch, you have a system that will work in your favor to lynch together on.
Like I said, this was a bad apple that occurred.
No
He should have been punished to some extent.
bad apple. No, no, no. If every apple on the tree is bad, it's just a bad tree. And the roots of the tree are bad. It's a bad tree, not a bad apple. Because
Oh, there is oppressive culture entrenched.
oh no, because it's systematic. And the reason Penny did it was because he knew he would either get a slap on the wrist or he would get acquitted. That's why he did that. He knew. He knew that he would not be in any danger of lynching a black person on a train. He knew. And he became very rich. He got all types of donations and he got acquitted. He knew. People understand the benefits of white supremacy. How do we come together with that? Hmm?
How do we come together is to begin and allow people to make sense of things for themselves. Groupthink has been weaponized through the radical left DEI agenda
Oh,
in terms of if you don't.
groupthink is white supremacy. Nobody does groupthink more than the white supremacists. The white supremacists, they put a jury together, they groupthink. They get on code and say, we're going to acquit this person. Groupthink is the politicians. They get on code and say, hey, we're going to give some soft charges on this person. Groupthink are the people who gave millions of dollars to Penny's GoFundMe and it's crowdfunding. Yeah, your community is the masters of groupthink.
So you're telling me that including men to participate in women's sports as transgenders is part of white supremacy?
Changing the subject to transgenderisms in sports is further proof of white supremacy because you can't argue white supremacy logically. So you have to just jump from topic to topic, Lucas. That's the point.
Sir, I'm making the point of the DEI policies
And
that are
so
radically.
and now you're just saying stuff, Lucas. You're just saying stuff and deflecting is another part of white supremacy. We're not going for it. See, we're going to be real focused. See, the white supremacist is always trying to get us to lose focus. It's not going to work. We're going to be very focused. And you trying to justify an innocent, hungry, scrawny, frail, special needs Michael Jackson impersonator getting choked from the back by somebody he didn't even see. Jordan Neely didn't even see the killer. Do you understand that?
Sir, for 1 second, do you think
Jordan Neely is dead. He didn't even see his killer. He don't even know why he got killed. That man got killed and don't even know why. He didn't even see his killer, by the way. You know how cowardly that is? This man snuck up from behind. He didn't even see him. Man don't even know why he got killed. You know how cowardly that is? You're not going to sit here and justify
Sir, stop saying that I'm making a hero of this piece of shit. Irrelevant. He's a talking point.
Your culture is cowardly, dude. You can sit here and babble all day, trying to babble for your cowardly culture. You snuck up and killed a man that didn't even see what was coming. The man didn't even see his killer. And y'all sitting up here trying to justify that
No,
nonsense.
no one is. You keep
You
repeating
are.
things that have not been stated. No one is
What you mean?
justifying what he did. We're
You are. You are. You have justified it. You've justified it, and you're trying to
I'm
babble
talking
around
about more instances of content creating corporate media, dividing the masses instead of allowing us to unify in this golden age of.
here. Get out of here. You're not going to sit here and mayo babble. The white supremacists think they're slick. They think if they just babble, we'll lose focus. We're not losing focus. See, I want y'all to understand how the white supremacists try to argue and work. No, no, I'm not. Nobody deserves to get killed, but he did have a bunch of charges and he was threatening people. He's all over the place. And listen, people need to stop being victims. Do you want transgenders playing volleyball? I mean, you're saying any damn thing. You're all over the place. He's trying to get us to lose focus. White supremacists are the masters of time wasting. That was just a lesson because I know Lucas. I've been going back and forth with Lucas. Lucas is a hip hop producer, by the way. For those who don't know, the guy who called up J.W. Lucas, he's a hip hop producer, produces black music, but has some of the most vile white supremacist views ever. I've been on his bumper for years, by the way. For those who don't know, he kind of tries to talk with a black scent. But yeah, this guy he thinks like Richard Spencer, man. Yeah, and he calls up trying to splain and babble all the damn time. You gotta watch these cats, man. Oh, let's get Yaya.
Good evening, Tariq. Good evening, room. Well, good morning, really. I just came to speak on the processes in New York City as to how the mental health and homeless are handled. I worked for quite a few years doing the crisis coordinating outside for the city. Um, when it comes to people like Jordan Neely, we we would go out, we would see them, we would go out, and he was on the top 100 list, which is one of they're our most vulnerable. And we would, once they're spotted, which we had a headquarter location where we could watch all of the train stations. I myself and some others and the chiefs of transit police would watch these cameras and we would look for them. Um, we would go out and we would outreach them to try to service them. The issue is that we have mental health coalition and the homeless coalition who the minute that we would put them in a hospital because they are a danger to themselves or others, those organizations would come in and immediately by the next morning I would get back to work and we were in court to release them or cited for. Now, mind you, we would have therapists on site to verify whether or not they were a danger to themselves or others. This program was set in place by the mayor, the previous mayor, so not Adams. And we was this was our job. This is what we did every day. We would go out with NYPD. We would go outside with the therapist. So we make sure that we had all our bases covered, and then we would get sued the very next night.
Hmm.
So this is a severe flaw that is continuing, that is making it so that you wonder why you get on the trains and nobody will do anything tangible for them. It's not that the services are not there, it's that we're getting sued constantly in order to release them. So if you, I don't know, I don't remember exactly. I'm guessing it was like 2019, and it was a lady in Queens that had a whole encampment there, and it like a fight broke out or whatever like that. We literally got sued before before she was totally even placed in the
No,
hospital.
what was the
She had
lawsuit
been there for.
based on? What was the lawsuit based on?
The lawsuits are just based on committing them without their consent
Oh,
or saying that we arbitrarily place them in a 72-hour hold or
oh,
48-hour hold
got-
or whatever.
okay, okay, got it. Okay, now that's interesting. That's interesting because the legalities of a lot of these things, you try to help certain people, and if they say, "Well, I don't want to be helped," and then they go file a lawsuit. So yeah, that's something that needs to be fleshed out as well to be able to help people, but to avoid any type of liability. So yeah, that makes sense. That's another aspect that needs to be examined as well. Hazi, what's up, Hazi?
So I want
Hello, Hazi. Come on,
you
Hazi.
hear me?
I
Yeah,
hear
you
you.
can hear me?
I hear you now. Yes.
Okay, great. So yeah, I wanted to point out something. The Jordan Daniel Perry situation is similar to the one that just happened today, the one about Luigi, about self-defense and stuff like that. What do you think about the situation?
About self-defense?
Yes,
It has nothing to do with self-defense because nobody was in danger in order to defend. You didn't have to defend nobody from anything. What were you defending them from?
because that's what I've read tweets saying about that situation, but really, I don't think it's self-defense, really, at all.
I mean, defend from who? Jordan Neely didn't touch anybody.
I'm talking about like the other situation, the one with Luigi.
Okay, well, Luigi he shot, ran, targeted, and shot somebody. Well, how was that self-defense?
Well, you're right about that one. That's what I was asking about.
Ozzy, where are you from, man? You sound high as hell. Where you from?
Yeah, I'm from the Middle East.
What part of the Middle East? Did you smoke some camel dust? What the hell are you smoking? High as hell.
Me, I'm from Egypt.
Okay. Are you
But
smoking?
I'm born in Atlanta.
You smoking mummy weed?
Yeah,
Damn, where you live? You
sounds about right.
Canada?
I'm from Atlanta.
Really? Okay. Where you? Okay. Yeah, you just sound
Yeah,
high, man. What you smoke?
yeah, I just been up all day. I really didn't smoke today, to be
You been
honest.
smoking. You've been up all day smoking. That's what smokers do. They stay up all day looking for some money to go get something to smoke. Do we need to get you a little program to get you off the narcotic?
You're right about that.
Man, all right, we got to get you off that narcotic, man. Don't come over here and get on the dope.
You're right about that.
All right, man, get your ass out of here. Go eat you some baklava or something, man. Damn. Okay, hey, it's time for me to go because now we're getting the high people who've been up all day smoking. Now they starting to call up, so I don't want to hear all that. All right, listen, we got an event happening at the Hidden History Museum, December 21st. Y'all need to bring y'all asses down because we're gonna have a good time. We're gonna have some big fun. Get your tickets now at hiddenhistorymuseum.com. We're going to have fun. We got a lot of great comics. We're going to have complimentary food, complimentary drinks. It's the Aratasase holiday celebration. Aratasase, that's our holiday, foundational Black American holiday, where we celebrate our ancestors, ladies and gentlemen. So get your tickets at hiddenhistorymuseum.com and also get your deodorant at rootworkstyle.com, ladies and gentlemen. All right, I'm up out of here, man.
Get ready to celebrate the holidays in style. Join us for the Arati Sussy Holiday Season Celebration at the Hidden History Museum in Los Angeles, Saturday, December 21st, 2024, 7 p.m. sharp. Enjoy complimentary dinner and drinks while you laugh the night away. Hosted by Tariq Nasheed and Dwan B. Featuring hilarious performances from Big Jaw, Kevin Tate, Henry Coleman, and more. Tickets are going fast, so don't wait. Visit hiddenhistorymuseum.com to reserve your spot. Don't miss the most festive night of the season. hiddenhistorymuseum.com.